And with me, Mr. Shankar Jiwal, the Commissioner of Police for Greater Chennai. So thank you very much for your time. Regarding this gold robbery case, 32 kilo gold robbery case, one police inspector has been suspended. Uh, is he involved in that? Give us a sense of what.
We had on 13th of August afternoon a robbery case, and so far we have been able to recover the entire gold to start with in 72 hours itself. However, one of the inspectors from Kanjivaram district seems to have been involved, not in the crime as such per se, but by way of helping one of the accused to conceal the attempt to conceal the stolen property. So far, investigation reveals that. On the first investigation, when we found that, we have recommended, and he's been suspended as of now. And as the evidence is built up, maybe we will have to book him under Section 414 of IPC for that.
What was his role in this?
Basically, one of the accused in this case, who knows a distant relative of him, seems to have kept some part of the stolen property with him. Initially, we were of the impression that maybe he didn't know that it's part of stolen heist, but later on, as the investigation progressed, it seems he knew about it to be part of this particular case. And then he didn't immediately come to the police because a lot of publicity is already there, people know, and anyway, he's a police officer himself. So that part of lapse was there. So that amounts to a criminal
He
offense.
knew it was gold.
Yes, he knew it was gold.
And then, sir, the sale of ganja across the city, particularly there's a worry that it's easily available near school and college campuses. How are you tackling this? What kind of a crackdown are you into now?
As far as the availability of cannabis or any of the correlated products in and around educational institutions is concerned, we have a zero tolerance policy towards that in Chennai city. Every week we have a special drive of 200 meters in and around educational institutions. Not only the NDPS, that is Narcotic Drugs and Psychosocial Act related banned products, banned drugs. Also, the Kodpa, that is any tobacco product not to be sold within the nearby the premises and all. This special drive has yielded results, and generally the people who used to sell at least tobacco personal has stopped. Cannabis related in school and college in around we do not have any this type of petty bunk shelling etc. However, there are cases where we have found that not school but some of the college students have been involved in consumption and all. We are, as I said, have a zero tolerance policy towards that. If any students come to notice regarding that, we are informing their parents and counseling them. And where we found that he is involved in a way of trading into it, they are being arrested and remanded also. But that's a minuscule of the entire scenario as such. So the policy and the target of police is very clear in this, and we are working towards a drug-free environment in all school and colleges. In due course of time, anti-drug clubs are to be started, drug-safe zones are to be started in school and colleges as well. This will happen in another 2 or 3 months' time.
In terms of seizure,
Seizure-wise, this supply reduction has always been a focus of police, and for example, if you take month of May to April of 2020 to 21, we had about 900 kilogram of cannabis seized. Due to concerted efforts, it has gone to 1600 kg approximately from May of 2021 to April of 22. So supply reduction efforts are huge, and a lot of kingpins being arrested, the financial investigation being conducted, and that has actually led to almost a three-time rise in the price of ganja, cannabis on streets, which shows that the supply reduction is effective. But at the same time, under the leadership of Chief Minister, now we are working towards demand reduction as well, which will involve a lot of awareness, involve rehabilitation, and also in a survey to actually ascertain the status of the pattern of abuse and the extent of abuse.
has the consumption of cannabis gone up amid the pandemic?
This, I think, is very difficult to comment on often. Once we have the survey results come in, we will be able to be more sure about this.
And what is the culture you get to know how this gets into younger people, sir?
It's basically by the peer group pressure. So mostly we have found that in socio-economic disadvantaged section of society, where the living space for kids and others is a bit lesser, and they are mostly with their peers in the evening hours, longer hours, and all that. They one of them getting used to it, then it becomes sort of matter of prestige, manhood, and all those things come in, which is a wrong notion, wrong concept. But this is how they get lured into this cannabis consumption. That's why we are bringing a program called Inukamanda. I don't need this. I can say no to drugs. That's what we're bringing.
Recently, Chennai witnessed a few custodial deaths. A few police personnel were also arrested. What's being done to sensitize and to avert this kind of
Custodial deaths, as the Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has clearly said, that is a state no-no, and in no way we can justify that. It means it has happened, it's wrong. That's all. There's no way of justifying custodial death as such. Um, for this, we have already been running awareness. Basically, sensitization of police personnel is must. Apart from this, what's happening in police stations, that is very, very important. So our intelligence machinery has also been worked up. We have a 8 hourly update if anybody is brought to station kept illegally there and all that, which is now slowly on a downwards trend, and the sensitization of the personnel etc. has helped us a lot. Apart from that, unfortunately, we have also found that many of the persons who are late night getting involved in the cases like brawl etc. Are drunk under influence of liquor sometime. So this puts us in a ticklish situation whether to take them to station or not. So we have brought a SOP where we said that we will not bring him to station because his health condition is bad, and suddenly he gets is unpleasant circumstances in the station. So we are sending him to hospital or binding him over to come to station next day. That is how we are tackling it. So there are different measures being taken, and we are sure that we will be able to avoid the unfortunate incident of this death in custody in future.
We're talking about cycling lanes on the East Coast Road, especially
Mm.
during the weekends. Any plans to extend that across the city as many people are turning more eco-friendly in terms of the transportation?
About 4 months back, we, on the popular demand of citizens, we decided to give from Kottivakam to Kovalam. It's a long stretch, one side of the entire road to them, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, and it is huge success, and they've appreciated. Actually, we find out a lot of walkers and joggers also using that lane. Um, uh, Definitely, we will extend it to other parts of city as and when there is a demand and the justification for doing that. We will work with corporation for that. So far, not many requests have come, but if the requests come with a number of people who will be using it, I think we'll be able to make it, because we have already experimented happy streets on Sundays in Annanagar, where 6 to 9 a.m. we have closed a stretch about 850 meters, and we find that people are actually raring to have some space, some time, and some community feeling and bonding, which is very nice to see. So we will be happy to extend it depending on the popular demand.
Dedicated cycling lanes in the heart of the city, is it possible as many youngsters would like to switch to cycling as their regular mode of transport?
For 24/7 dedicated cycle lanes will need some road engineering in the city. That cannot be, because you cannot have somebody cycle for 3 kilometers and then looking for where to go. It has to be a dedicated stretch and all along well planned. That will need some road engineering for sure. So as of now, we cannot straight away give a complete circuit to anybody, but dedicated time and stretches can be decided on this aspect. Let us say a flag road, staff road, from there to Kamra Salai. Dedicated hours we can still work for them and give them, but all 24/7 that will require road engineering and planning.
In terms of making it easy for public to file a complaint, how much of technology are you using and any plans to make it even more easier?
We have a grievance handling system. Now, these are two ways of doing it. One's for public and one's for our own police personnel, because this police personnel handle those public grievances as well. So we cannot have It's a fence and crop situation, so that it has to both be healthy. For public, we have a visitor system and as well online complaint system. Online complaint system is centralized.
Does it work effectively if someone emails a police complaint?
Definitely it works. Definitely it works. There have been instances, though, complaints that there's some delays and all. Those are being rectified. But online complaints work, and you have a reference to start with, which you can quote in case
Right.
of an issue as well. And then we have in our CPO a regular visitor section down there, where every day we receive about 60 to 70 petitions. And what we have started is 100% verification by callback. These petitioners every 2 months. We do a statistical analysis of what has happened to the petitions of the and grievances which were given preferred here at CPO. 9% is the rate of dissatisfaction as of now, but still rest of it being satisfactory or pretty good is a good sign for us. So I think nowhere else this kind of system has been tried where you call back each and every person who has given a petition here to a office and to judge what is the efficacy of a disposal. That started here. For online complaint, it's not so as of now, but people who are giving it physically here, the system is there.
But will it be possible for someone to completely avoid coming to the police station and file a complaint only online?
This all depends on system. A system has to be wholesome.
Right.
We cannot just talk one part and say that it can be. So the entire system has to be geared up for that as of now. Now what happens that most of the petitioners they want a physical feel of the thing, like being giving petitions, and half the time the police is handling the issues which are not totally criminal in nature. They either lie in gray area or purely civil. You need counseling, you need to tell the people how, what about, sometimes refer them to all that. But most of the stuff which relate to thefts like cell phone theft, bike theft, all these things can be made online because people just need a non-trivial certificate from us if it's not detected. So they need not be all the time interacted upon and all. If there's a pattern built up, we detect those cases and hand over. If not, the insurance takes care of that. A long term, any country, anywhere, such type of thing doesn't really work. There's some physical component involved in that. But as the society becomes more educated, more online friendly, yes, the system will be gearing towards the online system as well.
Lastly, in terms of fighting corruption, or in the instead of getting official fines, getting bribes, how's that you're addressing it?
From police point of view, generally we don't collect any fines by and large, but our 90%, 95% of that work domain is in the traffic, where people are challaned and there is a involvement of paying fine on spot something. But now, since 2018, we have made it cashless.
Right.
Nobody pays cash nowadays. We have e-challan machines, and you pay through the 5 6 modes of payment. So that the charge of collecting money, extra money is not there. You get a slip and you can deposit money there itself using credit card or e-save or some mode, or later on. We have added the facility of Paytm also through a QR code now. But we have had so far in last 1 year two instances where there was some demand of money. So that has been handled well. We have our social media handles, which is very effective and
Right.
very interactive for people. Anybody can complain there. I do not think in Chennai city there are many instances of such corruption of demanding cash by traffic or somebody else. We have minuscule instances where action has been taken. But even if citizen feels that there is a faceless handle we have on social media, they can always tell us. And we, because these two cases, complaint also which came to us was not physical. It was complained to us through online,
Okay.
email, or social media. We took action on those.
Lastly, how is the drone squad doing? I think Chennai had its first ever drone squad, right, in the country?
Yes, during the first budget session of 2021, Honorable CM has allotted 3.6 crore to have a mobile drone unit for us, and it will comprise of 8 drones of different capability and capacity. One of them with a payload of 25 kg for marine rescue as well. This is coming up now. We are tying up with Anna University. MIT has a huge drone expert unit there. With them, we have worked technical specifications and all. In 2 months' time, we'll have it ready. Most probably, it will be installed along the Marina Beach, and we will be patrolling the Marina Beach with the use of drones as well as conduct rescue operations.
In what way do you think drones could change policing?
Manpower multiplier,
Hmm.
basically. For example, let us say it's a hot sun stuff,
Hmm.
and you have a Marina Beach to be patrolled. Now, getting a man walk all along that is a tedious task, which can be done by a drone with a man sitting in the control room, air-conditioned control room. Same applies for the late night scenarios where you can use thermal cameras for entire beat scanning. So it's a manpower multiplier where the with clear evidence of thing like you have whenever the camera is involved, evidence is recorded so that it is a neutral evidence.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And that was Mr. Shankar Jiwal, the Commissioner of Police for Greater Chennai, talking to us on a range of subjects. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find TV.